So we're back in New York, except we're doing BookCon now, and I have my husband with me. Say hi.
Hello.
So I am no longer alone. Where we're parking at is in a hotel, and so I just wanted to show. Aren't these moose cool? These are really cool moose. They're like hipster moose. So anyway, we're headed to the Jacob Javits Center now, if the revolving doors would let us out. But yeah, today is going to be good. I lost my husband. There he is. All right, see you guys when we get into the convention center. So we stopped for lunch. We got to see a lot of cool authors. Like we got to see J.L. Willow. So as you know, we reviewed 2 of her books and we know her. So it was awesome to see her again. We also got to see her friend. We got one of his books as well, which I believe he said is a dark fantasy, which is cool. We're collecting pens, so that's great. There's a competition on Facebook to see who can get the most pens and, well, the most interesting pens. Like if you just have janky pens, nobody cares. And yeah, we're not done yet. We have like what, 3 hours?
Yeah, something like that.
It's 2:35. So yeah, so far we're having a great time, and it's great not to be by myself. I look kind of drained because I'm tired. I'm very tired. And I'm wearing the same clothes from the last video, but there's been a day in between, so it's not like weird or anything. And once again, branding. Move one thing, something else falls in the way. Branding. So, anything you want to say before we check out for lunch?
Well, no, like you said, I'm having a real good time and getting to see a lot of interesting books in the office. And we're going to do more of the same later on.
Yay! Okay, see you a little bit later, bookends. It is 3:45, so it's about an hour and 15 minutes left of BookCon. And this is my full outfit. Sneakers today. I had sandals on, but before now I have on my intergalactic Nikes. Woo. Okay, so I just wanted to touch on something really quick because I know a lot of people have this question. What is the difference between Book Expo and BookCon? Since we went to both this week, I just want to give like a little breakdown of the difference. First of all, Book Expo is hyper expensive. It's worth it, but it's hyper expensive. I believe my ticket was $400 for a blogger ticket. So it is hyper expensive. Secondly, it is hyper exclusive. So anyone can buy a ticket to BookCon, right? It's an event that's open to the public. Anyone can get it. For Book Expo, you would have to be either a recognized book blogger, which means you have a blogging site and you're also on social media. Like you have a presence in the book world. Not, it doesn't have to be a large presence, but a footprint nonetheless, an active footprint. Or you have to be an author, a bookseller, or a member of or a publisher, or a member of the ABA, which is the American Book Association. So you have to be one of those things in order to go to Book Expo. If you're not one of those things, you can't just be like a fan of an author and go. So yeah, those are two major differences. One, the cost. Two, it's kind of exclusive. Three, the ARC drops. So a lot of people have been complaining about BookCon not having a lot of ARCs available. The reason why BookCon doesn't have a lot of ARCs available, in all honesty, is because you pay about $30 for a ticket for Sunday, $35 for a ticket for Saturday, I guess. I forget how much a weekend ticket costs. But for Book Expo, once again, it's like $400. So most of the ARC drops are done during Book Expo. And the reason for that is because when you come to BookCon, right, you're coming as an enthusiast. You're coming as a fan of a certain book genre or a certain author, or just because you're a fan of the book world. When someone goes to Book Expo, this is their livelihood, or their brand, right? So for an author, it's their livelihood. For a publisher, editor, it's their livelihood. For a seller, for a book blogger, it's basically their entire content, because if you don't have books, you can't blog, right? If you're a book blogger, if you're part of BookTube or Bookstagram. So most of the ARCs are dropped during Book Expo because most of the people who are providing the books are going to get their feedback from the people at Book Expo. Basically, so to give an example, the books that I got at Book Expo, I'm expected to leave a review for. It's not just, okay, here's a free book, take it and enjoy it. No, I'm expected to leave a review for it, and I'm expected to do so in a timely fashion, right? So I have about 6 months or so from now to try and leave a review for all of the books that I've put in. That's kind of a time limit I've left for myself, but it's also something that people kind of follow, if that makes sense. But if you're going to BookCon, you're a fan, which is wonderful too, and you can leave a review whenever you want to. You can choose not to leave a review, you know. So that's another difference. Also, a major difference between BookCon and Book Expo is BookCon is so much more crowded than Book Expo. So there's a lot of people at Book Expo as well. But because there's kind of a cutoff point, like, you know, you can't just go. You kind of have to be chosen to go. There's not as many people there. Dropped my cell phone. It's okay. So yeah, those are the major differences between BookCon and Book Expo. Also, too, one other thing, BookCon is much bigger than Book Expo. So the area that I'm in right now, you may recognize from the Book Expo video that I did. Yeah, the 3 Book Expo videos I did, you may recognize this area. So it's almost like half the floor, right, is Book Expo. But we're gonna take you back over to where the BookCon part of it is, and that's more of the congested part. So yeah, I didn't know this when I came to Book Expo, but basically half of the floor is Book Expo. Of course, now all of the floor is BookCon, but what I'm saying is the look of it, like the layout is the same from Book Expo. So yeah, if anyone's planning on coming next year, you know, you can reference this video. Basically the biggest things are price, arc drops, expectations, and population. There is a pigeon at the water fountain having a drink. I hope nobody bothers him because he's just trying to live his life. Okay, again, so everything is winding down. As you can see, everything's getting empty because I'm short, so you can't really see too much. I'm sorry, I'm short arms. But yes, everything is winding down. We got a lot of stuff. As you can see, my husband's carrying most of it. So it's nice to have him here with me. Yeah, it's been a really good experience. And to add to something else that you can see in BookCon and Book Expo, at Book Expo, if you buy a book, it's at full price. So if there is a book to buy, it's at full price. At BookCon, generally, not always, but generally you can find a book at a discounted rate. So you don't really get as many arcs, but you do get more in the way of discounts. Alright, thanks so much for coming on the journey with us to Book Expo and BookCon. And if you like what you see, please like,